Good evening. Welcome to Music Minute at Epiphany Lutheran Church, which is not at Epiphany Lutheran Church this evening. It's in my home, and I'm Kevin Barger, the Director of Music Ministry, and we're taking a look at the hymns we'll be using in worship tomorrow. And we're going to go in order today, so we'll start with the gathering hymn, How Firm a Foundation. And this is one of those hymns that nobody really knows who wrote this gem. It was literally signed with a K, the letter K. And there has been great speculation over who this K might have been, but there is no resultant conclusion that anybody can agree on. So the tune is called Foundation, and it sits heavily surrounding the tonic for those music-minded, and that's kind of underscoring the foundation of the piece. And the tune's composer had family that settled near Harrisonburg, Virginia, in a community that became known as Singer's Glen. Maybe you know where that is. How Firm a Foundation. So you can hear that pounding, foundational kind of thing. Goes with the title. All right, next we will move to By Gracious Powers, and that will be our hymn of the day. This has roots back to Dietrich Bonhoeffer, and he actually got permission while he was in prison to write this letter. It was months before he was executed. I think it was 2 months before his mother's 70th birthday, so it was a birthday letter to his mother. And at the end of that letter, he wrote a poem, and the poem is this hymn that we will be singing. So it's been in a rearranged form, and it's set to the tune "O Perfect Love," which you probably recognize, and most of us probably likely knew that from the Lutheran Book of Worship days in the marriage section, "O Perfect Love," that appeared there. So this is by Gracious Powers. That arrangement was by Burley, which is a really unique arrangement of it. So hopefully you enjoyed that as well. We'll go on to our communion hymn, and that is one I think most people are very familiar with. We are baptized in Christ Jesus. And this really covers all aspects of the sacrament, even though it's talking about baptism, obviously, in the title. It was originally actually written in the past tense. So it was, we were baptized in Christ Jesus, but it was changed then to present tense because it is seeing baptism as a wider sacrament than just the water at the font. It's really taking the dying and rising of Christ that's tied to the water and witness in baptism, but then it includes the bread of communion with it as well, so incorporating that other sacrament. So, this is, we are baptized in Christ Jesus. All right, and that brings us to our sending hymn, and another one that I think most folks know, and it's another poem, if you will. It's This Is My Father's World, and this poem had 15 stanzas. We will not be singing 15 stanzas tomorrow. The hymn does not have that many. It was published into a hymn form after the death of its writer, and it was done by his wife's doing. She really wanted to make that into the hymn that it was. The tune was written and arranged specifically for this text, for this hymn, and it was included in a Presbyterian hymnal at the time, and the composer thought it was an English melody that he learned from his mother, but apparently it was not. His mother corrected him in that. So anyway, coming from our Presbyterian brother and sister, and This Is My Father's World. more of a lilting lullaby almost kind of treatment of that. So hopefully you might have learned something tonight that you didn't know before, and we'll look forward to singing these hymns tomorrow in worship. If you're joining us in the sanctuary, that will be at 8:30 and 10:30 with the 10:30 service live stream on our YouTube channel. Thanks again for joining, and we'll talk again next week.